So we really are former brand side marketers, and we really wanted to bring that brand sided experience to the agency side. So we understand the challenges that marketers are facing on a daily basis, and our fundamental approach is technology supporting marketing. So many times, and I've had this challenge on the brand side as well, marketers are provided the technology and we're forced to adapt and build our strategies around that. And that's why we really created the Baesman CRM and loyalty, to make sure that marketers have the ability to execute whatever strategy they want and not let technology be the restriction.
If people aren't enrolling in the program, they don't see value, they don't stick around, they don't engage, it would be bad for us. But fortunately for us, we spent 20 years figuring out the model, honing the model, working with the financials, doing the financial projections, the program design, understanding offers and communications and everything else to know how to talk to consumers, how to get them to enroll in the program, what does it take, what kind of offer to, incentive to enroll, and then what's the right level of benefits to get them to stay, so that they see, hey, if I'm willing to pay this $10 a month fee or $99 a year fee, whatever the fee might be, and it varies by client. If I do this, can I see myself getting enough value out of this to make it worthwhile? Because the value propositions usually are 10% or greater. Usually in a traditional loyalty program, the value proposition is 1%. Spend $1, get a point. A point is worth a penny, and you get, you get to 1,000 points, spend $1,000, you get $10 back. You get $10 in rewards. I mean, that's a long time. That's a very long horizon, and consumers aren't willing to wait that long for the most part anymore, unless they have to. So our thing is, hey, let's make it basically a kick-ass value proposition that's really tough to say no to. And again, we do realize, though, in all seriousness, Mark, we do realize it's not for everyone. It's not for every brand. It's not for every consumer. They want better rewards. They want to get closer to the brand. They want that tie, those insights into what's happening behind the scenes, whatever it might be. People want it, and if they want it and they're willing to pay for it, then the type of solution we offer is a winner.
I think one of our uniqueness factors stems from the fact that we serve both on the services side or on the strategic advisory, analytics, creative side, as well as on the technology side. And we see those as both separate and highly integrated. And the reason I say that is because, I think you experience this too a lot, Mark, you'll get somebody that says, I need X. Whatever that is. I need a platform to run my points program, or I need somebody to help me run campaigns and offers. But really the question is, what are you trying to solve for? And when you run a large advisory services practice that like we do, you get really good at looking for the actual problem that people are trying to solve, not just providing the solution they thought they needed. And while those are close and sometimes equal, many times they're actually apart. And so it's important for us to really dig to what is the heart of the problem that people are solving. And when we do that, that's when we get to a lot of the questions around how do I connect more with my customers or even my prospects, people that I want to come into our environment. And that's where we get very strongly into, let's figure out what's driving them. And we use many of the methods that a lot of people do, but the emotional layer is what I think separates us apart. People talk about emotional loyalty, but very few people have turned it into a methodology that can be applied. We have a client right now, an airline of all clients, who is actually trying to figure out whether our emotional loyalty scoring and what we recommend out of that system can drive NPS in a differentiated way. And if we can make that tie and say, what we do with emotional scoring can drive a betterment of NPS beyond the betterment of transactions and lifetime value, I think that's the holy grail for us. And that's what I think separates us apart, is we've gotten it down to a science.
I think loyalty, first and foremost, needs to put the appropriate time, energy, and rigor into the strategic lens. and really understanding from an overall objective standpoint, and then mapping that strategy to that objective. What are we trying to solve for? What are we trying to accomplish? I think from our standpoint, as I think many would suggest, data is at the heart of a lot of what drives and informs our strategy. But what sets us a little bit apart is we don't just look at the data, analyze the data, delve into that data, and then come up and say, well, here's what the data is saying. We actually try to take it from an insight standpoint to a much higher plane of action. And so one of the things that we blend that I think is a bit unique is almost an anthropological lens into the way that we look at data. So what we're trying to understand is not just what is the data telling us, but why might that be occurring? So you think of certain behaviors that you can observe with customers in data. It's great to understand the behaviors that are happening with customers or customer segments. But if you can tease out and bring a richer view into why it might be occurring, you have a better bet of informing a strategy that can either sustain and or change and alter that behavior. And I think, at its core, loyalty oftentimes is about changing behavior and or influencing the behavior. And so, it's very incumbent upon us, and we use that anthropology as kind of a secret sauce to go beyond just what the data is saying and try to break it more actionable as to, okay, why is that happening and what do we do about it?